So you've got a $3,000 deductible on your health insurance. So you know that number. You've been paying your premium every month. So why, when you go to the doctors, do you still owe so much? Today, I'm going to show you exactly why. And it's not what most people assume. I'm Steve Corbin. I spent 26 years now in the health insurance industry, and I run Cornerstone Health Advocates right here in Western Massachusetts. I've definitely had this deductible conversation a lot over the years, but let's go ahead and have it again now. The biggest problem is most people think that you paid your premium and that's it. That's actually one of the biggest misunderstandings with health insurance. Most people understand that you're going to go to the doctors and you're going to pay a copay. But for most people, the deductible is something new. Maybe you had it in the past only when you went to go to the hospital, but nowadays, more and more deductibles are applying to more and more services. So let's just rewind real quick. For those of you that aren't familiar with what a deductible is, that's the amount that you pay first before the insurance even kicks in. A lot of us are familiar with that concept with like auto insurance or homeowners insurance, where you get into an accident or you have an issue at the home where you need to file a claim. You know you have to pay a certain amount up front before the insurance kicks in. What's really tripping people up, and I alluded to it a second ago, is that most services don't necessarily count up against the deductible the way you would think it does, right? So preventive copays, preventive visits, and some prescriptions, they're going to run on a different track. But now, especially right here in Western Massachusetts, most of the health insurance plans that are available here, the carriers here, that deductible is kind of applying to a lot of things. So one thing in particular, just say you go and get some routine lab work done, and then all of a sudden you get a bill in for maybe it's $110. But while you're there, you already paid your copay. So both can be right. In that particular situation, you have a deductible that you need to pay until it's met, but you also have a copay. I know this can be very confusing, and again, it's newer for some of us out there. One little point I will make, and one thing that I really want everybody to be aware of, is especially when we're talking preventive care, that's always supposed to be covered at 100%. What we see now, as a little quick aside, is when you're going to get lab work that's associated with your routine visit. Say your doctor wants you to go get a cholesterol screening. Maybe if you're a man and the age is correct, you're getting a PSA, you're getting glucose screening done, and it should all fall within preventive care. A lot of times you're getting billed for that. So always dig into that, right? If you don't think you're supposed to be paying on it, especially if it's preventive care, go ahead and question it. The other thing is to remember, for most plans, they run on a calendar year basis. So here we go, it's January 1st, and we're starting all over again. So again, we talked about what the deductible is, right? And so what counts towards it and things of that nature. So you need to make sure, one of the things, again, another quick tip, while we're talking about deductibles, one of the best ways to track your deductible is to register online with whatever your health insurance portal is, right? They have the technology there and they're going to track it there. Another thing to be aware of when we're talking about deductibles, and this could be a bit of a trap, and you need to understand a couple terms, and they may be new for you, and I'm going to try to explain them so you can understand them. So first, we have family deductibles and individual deductibles. Most of us have probably seen those. The terms I'm going to bring up right now that may be new to you are embedded deductible and non-embedded deductible, okay? So traditionally, deductibles work on an embedded basis. And what that means is, say you are a family of 4 and you have a $3,000 individual deductible, you will most likely have a $6,000 family deductible. If that's an embedded deductible, what that means is you, as the individual, will never pay more than $3,000 towards your deductible. You, as a family, will never pay more than $6,000. So say you and your wife, or you and your husband, or you and one of your children each max out your deductible at $3,000 each. The family deductible's met. So now when the third and fourth member go and they need to get services that are subject to the deductible, that should not apply. You've met your family deductible. So all other services that are considered deductible in nature, you've met your deductible. You're good to go. So that's an area where you really want to kind of pay attention, especially if you had a lot of claims throughout the year. Just track that. Like I said, the trackers that they have online for the carriers, they do a good job of tracking that information. But the billing companies that work for the hospitals and the providers' offices, they do not do a very good job with that. So you may find yourself getting billed for stuff that you don't have to pay. So that's an area that you want to be cautious. Remember, embedded deductible, that means you never pay more than your individual deductible per individual. If it's not embedded, it's a different story. That means that $6,000 deductible, one person could have to meet that whole thing. But once it's met, everybody's good to go. Another area where we want to make sure we have a conversation while we're talking deductibles is a little bit of the difference between deductible and out-of-pocket maximum. In most plans today, your deductible is going to reduce your out-of-pocket maximum, but the out-of-pocket maximum also accumulates copays as well. So that's an area. Just because you've met your deductible does not mean you've met your out-of-pocket maximum. You could still have to pay copays until you meet that out-of-pocket max. I've also touched base on logging in and registering on those portals. You could also just simply call your insurance company and ask them and go through that with them. Most insurance companies, customer service, especially again out here in Western Massachusetts, they do a very good job. The carriers that we have access to out here from a customer service perspective, they do a very good job and they want to help you through that. So when in doubt, and you give them a call. If what you see there is not making any sense. The other thing is, if you looked at a bill recently and you're really looking at it and you're like, I have absolutely no idea, that's exactly what we do here at Cornerstone Health Advocates, is we help you navigate that process. We'll sit down with you right at your kitchen table, wherever you want to meet, and just kind of go over everything and just make sure you understand it. There's no cost for the first consultation. Everything else is on a sliding scale. So just kind of go to our website. The link's going to be in the description of this video, and it'll really help you navigate that process. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to help you. Thank you very much. And if you found this video to be helpful, go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue putting videos out like this, and share it with a friend. You're not the only one out there that's having some issues with billing and understanding deductibles. It's really gets pretty crazy and convoluted these days. So again, thank you very much and have a great day.